Hi, I'm Matt.
Hey there, I'm Bianca.
And in this video, we're going to talk about us becoming a quad.
That's right, so keep watching.
Oh, so we've got a lot brand new going on, don't we?
We do, yeah, a lot's been going on.
Yeah, well, let's start out with, first of all, we're not filming in our normal place.
No, we're not.
No, we're actually testing things out because we're doing some new audio stuff going on. So this is actually our tiki bar that we have at our house that we go to basically on the nights that Sapphire's not open. This is
That's right.
And then, of course, as you can see by our microphones if you're watching, that we're now improving our audio and going more into the podcast side of things. Right. We've been making videos on YouTube for how long now?
It's like 13 years?
13 years, something like that, yeah. So, and probably, let's see, 8 of them for Sapphire. And so we started out years ago doing podcast. Oh, not started out, but we did podcast back in like 2013, somewhere around there, and then we decided really to just stick more with the video side of things, and we ended up not really doing the audio podcast anymore. We've been doing videos for years and years and years, and now podcasts are a lot of other people are doing them. So we're like, hey, you know what? We're just a couple of talking heads. Might as well do this for the people that listen in their cars, or
like me,
or the people that just don't want to stare at your breasts for an hour.
Aww.
Yeah. They just want to hear your beautiful voice instead. So
I've got a microphone right in front of them, so you're not missing much.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. A lot of people are really upset about that. So, in addition, of course, the whole theme about this thing is quads. Let's start out with Bianca. Describe to the audience who's never heard this term before. What is a quad?
I'm like probably the worst person to describe this. So it is 4 people get together and do stuff.
Be a little bit more descriptive
of that. I wish you had told me that I was going to be describing this because I would have looked it up.
You don't know what it is?
I know what my definition.
Okay, what is your
definition
of it?
So it's 4 of us, me and another guy, and you and another woman.
You're allowed to say their names. They did say it was okay.
Okay, and we are like boyfriend girlfriend. Like we're together. We're not a closed quad, so we still play with other people.
Okay, so very descriptive, yes. So in the swinging world, you have people that go and have sex with other people. In the polyamorous world, you have people that generally have feelings for each other, and sex couldn't be there, maybe not, maybe it just depends on the specific types of relationship. So what we have going on is actually a mixture of both, which is kind of unusual in itself in a swinging open quad, oh boy, whatever the title might be. So specifically that we are a husband and wife. We have this other couple, Will and Lisa, who we've known now for about a year or so. And just a few months ago, we started to have more of a relationship with them, which actually includes feelings, which is wild in itself. If you've been following us since the beginning, if you look back to what we were doing years ago, you'll see that we have dipped our toes into the polyamorous world in the past, and it has had positive and negative aspects to it. It is difficult, and it is not necessarily for everyone. Mm-hmm. But of course, one could argue that swinging isn't for everyone either. So it definitely does take a very strong relationship, strong relationships on both sides of that, but also that the communication skills, of course, have to be crazy high. Yeah, you have to talk about everything. You have to talk about the positive, the negative, all of those. Yeah. So do you want to start out with, who are these people? What are they doing? Just tell people all the stuff.
Like how we met them?
Sure.
Well, we met them at a takeover.
A Westport takeover, which is done by Club Sapphire. They have 3 of those a year.
Yeah. And so from what I remember is we met her one night, and then I didn't meet him until we were getting ready to go. But we met her. They were fans of our work.
Yeah, no, that's kind of cool. Actually, they've been fans of our videos for years.
And the videos have helped them, and they, Lisa came up to you at in our room. We were having a party in our room, and she came up to you and introduced herself, and you guys talked for a while, and then you introduced me to her. And they had taken some of our classes, like my lap dance classes and that kind of stuff too, but I wasn't introduced to them, and usually I have quite a few people in those classes, so I don't always get to know everybody in the class. And then he was introduced to us, or to me, right when we were leaving in the lobby.
And what did you think when you first saw him?
Oh, I thought he was definitely cute.
Okay.
And shy, but he did kiss me.
First time you met?
Yeah.
Yeah, nice.
Yeah.
High five that. Love that in the swinging world. You're not going to get that in vanilla world.
No.
No. When her and I met, she sought me out because, like I said, they're fans of ours, which is cool in its own aspect, because they knew pretty much everything about us already from watching our videos for years. And she came up to me and just started a conversation. We hit it off instantly. We talked for about an hour. And then she asked if she could kiss me. So I'm like, yeah, absolutely. I love that. I love that forwardness. And he wasn't feeling well that night. And so she said, hey, do you mind if I take a picture and send it to my husband? And so, we sent the three of us in a picture, and he was super jealous because he didn't get to meet us that night, but he went out of his way to meet you the next morning so that he could say hi, and then we just started connecting on different levels, and I'm trying to think of the next time.
The next time we saw them again was at the next Westport.
Okay.
That was, I don't know if you've watched videos of ours from the past. I've talked about how I actually flirted with someone, and he was that one. I flirted with someone. When I saw him, I was very excited. I'd heard that he was going to be there, so I was excited to get to know him better. And I can't remember how, I think you were like, ooh, Will's going to be there. And I was like, oh, whatever, trying to play it cool. And but the minute I saw him, I didn't see him in the room. I didn't see him until he was right in front of me. And I just got very excited and ooey gooey feelings, and flirted with him and talked to him, and it was at speed dating. And I remember when they rang the bell, I've never been so disappointed in my life to have to move on to the next couple.
Oh, okay, because you only have 2 minutes to talk to a couple.
So but then later that evening, after the speed dating, he and I chatted for several hours and just talked. It was really nice. He really, really took the time to get to know me and didn't push me to move faster than I wanted to or anything like that. I totally would have. I don't know that he knows that even now, but now he does. Totally would have done more things with him, but I love the way that it all went because he really focused on getting to know me and making me feel very comfortable with him. And so that weekend, you actually had a connection with her that weekend. While we were talking, you were doing other things.
So do you find that you have the same type of relationship with me that you have with him?
No, definitely not. I mean, I don't think I could ever have the same type of relationship with anybody that I have with you.
Okay.
First off, there's just the fact that we've known each other
30 years. 30
so
years.
Long.
Yeah.
But also that we grew up together. Even if something happened to you today and I met a person and I stayed with them for 30 years, it would never be the same because our relationship is so unique. It's unique to us. And my relationship with anybody else out there is unique to those personalities and those people. I think that, we talk about the love languages a lot. There are certain things where love languages will come into play where I don't necessarily, it's hard for you to fill my cup because we're so different. And then other people will kind of pick up the slack and fill my love cup in those ways. And so I feel like it does help us become happier, better people.
Okay. Yeah, because I understand what you're saying, and that's the case with Lisa and myself in that we have the same love languages, which are words of affirmation and touch, and you and I do not have the same ones. And so because of that, the connection is very, very strong immediately because those are just things that we just gravitate to.
Right.
And so we've connected very well, very quickly, and that's been very nice. Plus, I would tend to say that her and I, our sex drive is probably more even to each other than you and I are. Would you agree with that statement? Yeah. And basically in the fact that I like to have sex first thing in the morning and you like to have sex late at night. That just does not work. That does not work. So we have sex at 3 in the afternoon specifically. That's good.
Which reminds me we have 20 more minutes.
Okay.
Nothing wrong with a little afternoon delight.
That's right. So that's basically what a quad is, and there are different types of them. I think in all the years that we've been doing this, we've known one, maybe two quads in all these years. The very first parties we ever went to were put on by a local quad here that were together for many, many years. It does exist. It is interesting that it's something that we had actually talked about for many years as almost like a pipe dream. Like it would be amazing to find another couple that we could enjoy all the adulty stuff that we do, have excellent sexual chemistry, but also have the fact that we can go and do vanilla stuff, that we can go
dates,
travel, just all of the stuff,
the farmer's market,
and be close enough that we can be friends with, and that our kids can meet, and we can meet their kids and all of that. Then it's really no big deal that we are in some form of a relationship, and it's just kind of nice. And so we had talked about that for many years of just this, wouldn't it be amazing to find someone like that? But I think in all these years, I think we've talked about maybe one couple, probably a dozen years ago, that like if they lived on this side of the country, which they don't, then maybe we could have connected with them in that way, because we just had this very similar strong four-way connection. It was just one of those things. We talked about it, it'd be great, but we never thought it was going to happen. No. And it just kind of fell into our laps, and it has been fantastic so far.
It has, and I think one of the key things, and I know that Lisa and I have talked quite a bit about this, one of the key things to the success of this so far has been the fact that she and I really like each other.
Oh, yes, you do.
Yeah. But that, for me, is so important to have that girl energy and that like lifting you up. I don't feel threatened whatsoever. I don't feel like anytime you guys spend together that it's taking away from me, or that like I'm not sitting there thinking about like what you're doing with her or whatever. I'm not bothered by it at all. And I think it's because I adore her. Like I really love being around her. I love the way that she makes you smile. I like the way that, you make her smile. And so for me, having her and a good connection with her makes this so much easier. Mm-hmm. For me, Will is very easy to love, but the fact that you like him makes it even easier to love.
Yeah.
Don't you kind of feel the same way?
Absolutely, because in our previous lives of trying the polyamorous thing, which was a good, almost a decade ago, we didn't quite have that. And what they would call like a kitchen table poly, in the sense that, everybody's literally sitting at a kitchen table and they can all talk to each other and meet each other. There are some forms of it that, for example, she had a boyfriend, but her boyfriend lived in another state. And so, I'd met him a couple times, but that was kind of the extent of it. We didn't particularly get along, but we didn't particularly not get along either. And so that was a little bit different. Now, this new couple, they live literally right down the street from us, which is wild in itself.
That's awesome.
Yeah. So we joke about turning this entire neighborhood into a swinger, like the villages of Florida.
Yeah.
But just
so
like
if you're looking to move, we're interviewing people that want to move into the neighborhood.
Yes.
There are several houses right down the street from us.
Perfect.
Available right now. So.
Perfect. Yeah. Because they literally moved in like 6 doors down from us. Coincidentally, they were going to move to Washington anyway, but they like where we live, and we're like, oh, this would be cool. And so there's just a lot of it, and it's wonderful. It's a good feeling. It's a good feeling on a lot of different levels. It's nice that, in the same vein as what you were just talking about, like, I love that you connect with Lisa so well. That's very, very important to me, because that definitely was not the issue. That was not the case with a previous girlfriend that I had.
No.
And in fact, girls call each other girlfriends, and you to do things, and that's what.
Are we gonna kiss and tell?
I'll kiss and tell. Yeah. And that's nice. But also from a sexual standpoint, that it can either be, we've had these 2 ways, and we've had the whole 4-way thing quite a few times, and it's been nice that we've been able to just kind of do all of the things, whether it's separate room. You're smiling.
Oh, because you were talking about things, and it reminded me of something that we did once.
What thing was that, Bianca? The audience wants to know, especially if you're smiling like that.
I had my first threesome.
Yo, that's right. That's right.
What I consider an MFM.
Yeah. You know, it's funny. We've been doing this for 14, 15 years. We've been in lifestyle. And that was just one thing that just never really came up. We had kind of...
because I put too much in it. It just like, it became like this thing where it had to be like the right people. And like, I felt just finding the right person was very difficult for me.
Right. We tried to have an MFM 10 years ago, but the other gentleman couldn't get it up, and it was, you know, it was
fine.
It was fine, but it was not, you didn't quite have the experience that you wanted, and then it just hadn't come up since then, and you've been, you know, looking for this perfect situation of the perfect couple of guys and all that. We had been in orgies many times, we had been in, you know, all the different things, but not specifically with you and two gentlemen. But now you and two gentlemen that you actually had feelings for became a pretty phenomenal evening for you.
It's a good time.
It's a good time.
Yeah.
But you don't like to kiss and tell.
I'm not. I'm just. Yeah. Okay. I'm not telling everything.
All right. Okay. No, that's fine. That's fine. The audience can use their imagination. That works too. So, if someone was looking to potentially get into a quad situation, what would you recommend to them?
Well, first off, stop looking. That's how it happened for us.
Yeah, that's a good starting point in the sense that, I mean, it was always in the back of our head, but we never put it out there.
I've had so many people come at me, and that sounds wrong, but bring their concerns when we talked about going this, and they were like, "You said you would never do this again. Are you okay? Like, are you being forced into this? You
Yes.
said never again."
I force everything onto you.
Well, not just you, but there are other people involved.
Sure.
You know,
Uh-huh.
are you actually comfortable? Are you actually happy?
Yeah.
And I finally realized that, you know, 1,000%, I said I would never do this again. I'm not a polyamorous person. You've considered yourself non-practicing poly forever, and
Yeah.
I never wanted to go down this road ever again.
Yeah.
Now, I'm open-minded enough to realize if the right person, the right situation, whatever, I'm not so close-minded that I'm like, absolutely not. But I think that the difference is, for me, I didn't know Will and Lisa then. And for whatever reason, the universe has placed them in our laps, and they are the right people for us. And that's why it works, is I kept my heart and my mind open to the possibility, but I wasn't out there like interviewing each couple we met, like, oh, would you be good for this? So it never occurred to me that this would happen. When we first started hanging out with them, this never was in my mind that this would happen. It never occurred to me that this was going to be a thing.
I mean,
it really didn't until...
Interestingly enough, I mean, Lisa and I connected practically instantly, and I mean, I would tend to say feelings are kind of a vagueness. I mean, you know, we never particularly talked about that, but I mean, the connection was so strong from the first time that we were together. It was like, wow, this is really nice. This is a really good connection. I hope that it builds from there. And I know both her and I had our fingers crossed, you know, as far as you and him were concerned. I mean, we saw that there was an instant connection with you and him the first time you made out. Like, I mean, just the fact of that in itself.
I don't do that.
You don't do that. You don't do that. And you saw him, and you're like, oh, he's cute, and he had the right personality, and he also knew what you want and what you're looking for, and you know the types of things that turn you on and the types of things that don't turn you on, and the types of things that make you uncomfortable. And there are things in the lifestyle that make you uncomfortable. There's no question about that. And I would tend to say that you are very, very common in women in the lifestyle, that there are some things that you love and other things that you're like, wow, I really don't want to do that. And that's fine. That's perfectly fine that you know, everyone is like that. And that's good that you have these aspects that excite you and other aspects that you're like, yeah, that's not my jam. And when you find something like that, it's a great feeling.
It is, yeah.
Yeah. So, what else would you recommend to someone who's so someone meets a couple and they're like, wow, this couple is we're hitting it off. Anything that you'd want to recommend to them? Anything you want to say to them?
I mean, just keep the lines of communication open. Like I said, don't plan on this happening, but you know, if you start to develop feelings, I mean, we all had, when we were thinking that we were developing feelings, there were a lot of conversations. So we have almost always had chats. I've had a chat with Will, you've had a chat with Lisa. And then I had also a chat with Lisa, and then at some point you had a chat with Will. Mm-hmm. Finally, at some point I was like, we need a chat with 4 of us. So we have that now. So we have all chats. We are all communicating constantly, but we are also, there are no secrets. like that I'm aware of.
I'm not telling you those
I don't know.
secrets, yeah.
But I mean, I will tell Lisa something, and then Will reach out to me and be like, "Oh, I'm so sorry you had a terrible day," or whatever. Like, they are talking all the time, which I love. I like that there are no secrets. I like that everybody is very open with at least one person in the group, and then that person's going to share it. So if you have a secret to keep, you just can't. Which is open and honest communication, and it's not always easy. So far, everything with this group has been pretty easy.
Yeah.
Haven't had any conflict that I can think of. If there was,
No.
I pushed it back into my brain, which is great. That's lovely. And I think the reason is because of our communication, because we do talk all the time. When we first started thinking about, like, are we having feelings? I know that the two of them talked about it a lot.
Yeah.
Lisa reached out to me, and she and I talked about, like, how do you feel about feelings? What are your feelings about the feelings? What kind of feelings do you think you might be having? What kind of feelings do you think you'd be comfortable having? And then you and I talked about me and how I felt about having feelings. So we both knew you were cool with it. And I think the whole group knew how I felt and how slow I am, and they were all very generous with making sure that I feel comfortable and I'm in a comfortable place and a comfortable space, and knowing that I would say Will and I are pretty close, pretty much the same as far as, especially with speed and how comfortable we are with things. And he's definitely, I think, maybe with some things he's more comfortable than with other things I'm more comfortable. But for the most part, he and I are basically the same speed. And so you and Lisa have been great at checking in with us, at making sure that we're both confident and comfortable with how all of this is going. And you guys have been very good at just making sure that he and I are very much on board, and you're not steamrolling us because of your feelings.
Okay.
So I've really appreciated that, and I would assume he has as well. But yeah, just keeping that. The communication is the hardest part within a marriage, right? Wouldn't
Yep.
you say? Like, not pulling out that garbage of I'm fine, or just like not telling your partner what's wrong,
Sure.
and just like being mad at them or whatever. Then you add in two more totally different people into that relationship, and you have to communicate. If feelings are hurting for whatever reason, you have to tell somebody and you have to talk about it. And it will be better if you talk about it as a group and not just with one person. Like if Will and I had a side conversation about something that was bothering us, especially in particular if it had to do with you and Lisa, that's not good. We need to bring you guys into that conversation, let you know that we are having these feelings, that something is bothering us. So making sure that the communication is not just between you and I, it's got to be between everybody, the whole group.
And of course, all of our friends know, everybody's, our kids know. And have you had any pushback from friends or acquaintances or anything that don't understand this?
Not yet. More so people, I've had several friends that were like, oh my gosh, they were more happy for me than anybody else in the group.
Okay.
Because they know just my style, and that this is something that I, like, they feel that I would be the most comfortable with this type of relationship, which they're not wrong.
I'm sorry, that you are the most comfortable with?
I'm the most comfortable with just having, like, one person. Like, I'm too shy to deal with lots of people. Like, I like this. I like the feelings. I like knowing that someone likes me, all that kind of stuff.
Okay.
I think the biggest, like, negative thing, if I could think of something negative, were the people that were like, are you okay? Do you really want this? Because you said you would never do this, and now you're doing it, and what's going on? Who body snatched you? That's been the worst of it. I think there's been a little bit of envy and a little bit of, I don't even have jealousy really, but maybe more envy. From some people, for sure. But other than that, like, most everybody's been very supportive, very questioning. I think the biggest question on every single person's mind has been, what does this mean? Are you still going to play?
Yeah.
Everybody has just assumed that we're all off the market.
Which would be called a closed quad if it was just the four of us and we became monogamous in the sense that all four of us didn't play outside of that. But that's not the case. All four of us still consider ourselves swingers, and we're still in our new relationship energy level of these relationships, so how much we're playing outside of it right now might be less than where it'll be in a year as we get more comfortable and as the switching. I mean, there was a situation just recently where Lisa and I were somewhere and someone asked to play with the two of us, and we're like, oh, well, we've never talked about her and I going off and playing with another couple while you and Will went off with another couple or something. We just never had those conversations. We haven't had those conversations yet because we've been so ooey gooey in the new relationship energy that we haven't bothered with any of that yet. We'll get there. We'll get there. We'll get to those conversations when they happen naturally, or when they happen to the point of, oh, we're going to be going to this event next weekend, so we should probably talk about that. That's probably where that's going to come up.
I know that there will be difficult conversations that are going to come up. I mean, I think right now we're just so in the exploration phase, you know, constantly asking, you know, what are you into? What do you like? What do you want from me? You know, how can I make you happier? That kind of stuff. That it's all ooey gooey now. And I know that stuff is going to pop up. It does between the two of us. So I know I'm not naive enough to think that this is going to be all roses and confetti and glitter, like the whole journey. I while that's nice, you don't fully, like, conflict is important in relationships too, because that makes you stronger and makes you closer and bonds you. And I'm happy for the challenge. I'm happy for the opportunity to get to bond with these people, and you more so. And I'm excited to see where all this goes. Yeah,
it is very interesting. If you're not familiar with the term compersion is, we kind of equate that to the opposite of jealousy. So compersion is that concept of, I'm happy because I'm seeing you be happy, okay? And that's very, very common in the lifestyle, in the sense that it's like, oh my gosh, so Bianca's on a bed and someone's giving her the biggest orgasm ever. I'm going to have a giant smile on my face because I'm seeing the enjoyment that she is receiving, okay? It's not a jealousy. It's again, the opposite of that. It's like, yay, someone is giving this amazing orgasm. That makes me happy, okay? Very, very common in lifestyle. Now we're looking at this from a level of, also from a more of a I don't know, relationship, spiritual. That's not the right word. Yeah, just you know, of a love feeling, not just a physical feeling of compersion. It's like when Will says something to you, or he sends you a text, and you get this adorable smile on your face. Yeah, that one right there. Like, that makes me smile. That makes me happy to know that someone is making you happy. And so my next question kind of boils to, because of that compersion, do you have any fears about any of this?
I think my biggest fear, and I think it's one that we've all kind of sort of talked a little bit about or touched on, I know you and I have, is what if something happens and one person decides they're done?
Yeah. In a four-way connection, if one person gets out of that really messes it up for everybody else. So, and
how do you deal with that? Like, I don't even know how. I don't want to know, but how do you deal with one person decides they're done, and now you've got three really hurting people, but that fourth person still hurts too, the one that decided they were done. I'm sure there's because there are feelings here.
Yeah.
How do you get through that? I don't know.
Sure. Well, hopefully we won't have to figure that out.
I don't ever know.
Yeah.
But I think that's probably my biggest fear. I don't have a fear, and I think the one that most people would want to know, or would think my biggest fear would be you and Lisa running off.
Yeah.
And it's not. It just isn't. I don't know why. I don't know. I don't have a good reason other than Lisa is a girl's girl. Okay. She is there for me for whatever I need. She is not going to knock the crown off my head. She's going to put it back on straight. She is going to do everything and anything in her power to bring me joy and happiness and love. And if she were to run off with you, that would not do any of that stuff. And I just don't ever see that happening. I just don't. I just don't. It just, I mean, yeah, it just doesn't even, it has never even entered into my head that would happen.
I'm glad. That makes me happy. That makes me happy. Yeah, you know,
I also see the strong bond between the two of them.
Yeah, that's important.
I love when they'll, you know, we ask them to do something and, you know, will say, no, we can't tonight. I'm taking Lisa out on a date or whatever. And I'm just like, yay, like that, I don't have any jealousy of the two of them.
Yeah.
And so, like, I love hearing about, like, how happy they are and what they're doing and that kind of stuff. So I think because I have not only compersion for you and Lisa, but also for Lisa and Will, that makes this a very well-rounded relationship for me.
Sure. Sure. Okay.
Okay, so you asked about fears.
Yep.
What is something that you are really, like, one thing that you're really excited about with this relationship?
Ooh, there's a good one. I do like the aspects of, there's a lot. Okay, all right. So, for example, one of the big things is from a sexual standpoint.
I knew it was going to go to sex.
Well, I still consider myself a swinger, thank you very much.
I asked you.
All right, so, yeah, you did ask me, that's true. So one thing I find very interesting is, yes, the four of us have played together, and individually, you know, the twosomes and all that. Will and myself are both straight men, not bisexual at all, but the women are. And at least with each other. And so there are these different aspects of it that come into play in situations. And for example, for my birthday just a few weeks ago, like they gave me an amazing threesome with Lisa and Bianca, and Will had the camera. And he was happy as a clam, just videotaping the whole thing, being the cameraman for that, which was hot in itself. And that was super cool. But also, it was exciting because that was great for me, for Matt's fantasy and Matt's brain. And I know the ladies, I'd like to believe the ladies enjoyed it as well.
I'm kidding.
But also in the sense that you said earlier that you had a threesome with me and him and you loved it and you had a big smile on your face. And the other aspects of that too, of, you know, that there'll be a time where Will has a threesome with you and Lisa, and she'll have a threesome with me and Will and all of the things. And those, like, we can do all of those. And even though in that situation, for example, Will might have been jealous because he just had the camera and didn't get to do all the playing stuff, he'll get his turn. And so I can feel that way too. It's like, if you, with the three, you wanted to go off for the weekend, great, have a blast. I'll get my chance too. It's so no big deal. That's exciting for me. That's exciting to be able to do all of these things that are great. And honestly, when there's feelings involved, whatever the feelings may be, but whenever there's more than just putting tab A into slot B, the sex is better. Just the sex is better. I'm not saying the sex is great when you don't know someone's name, because that's totally fine too. We've been there. I have a lot of friends that love to do that, and that's totally cool, to each his own. But from our perspective, when we do have a little bit more of a level of connection, we just enjoy ourselves more. And so that's just an aspect to that. I also like the non-sexual aspects of it, in the sense that they are really, really good friends, and that we can do these vanilla things and it's no big deal. They've come over and hung out. Our kids know, and they're adults. You know, both of our sons are adults, and they've known about the life that we've been in lifestyle forever. But they have met them, and they've hung out. It's been a vanilla situation, and it's been great. And all of those things just make, for at least from my perspective, life more fulfilled. I didn't think it. Not that it wasn't fulfilled before, but this has added another level to it that has just made my heart a little warmer, made my life just feel like there's more in it now. Yeah. And that is a wonderful feeling. Not everyone can feel that. In fact, very few people can feel that, because this is such an unusual circumstance. I wish that more people in the lifestyle could experience this feeling, because it is wonderful from a sexual and a non-sexual standpoint, but it is so unusual that I understand most people, and of course a lot of people don't even want to go there, because when you put feelings involved, it also makes things way more complicated. As we've been explaining, things are definitely more complicated now. There's no question about it, including what you had just said. If one person backs out, it becomes honestly a real problem.
Right.
And which we honestly have no idea how to deal with if it ever came to that.
But I think too, there's a positive as well for our relationship, in that when you're just in the lifestyle, just swinging, you have to very much focus on your main partner and make sure that they are always confident and comfortable and happy with this, your primary relationship, right? You add in this other couple where, you could have feelings of love being taken away from you. You don't love me as much because you love her. And while I know that that's not true at all, especially for you, I feel that it makes us work even harder on our relationship, or on our primary relationship. We have even more difficult conversations and times where we're like, we needed to just be the two of us for right now, and that kind of stuff. And I think that just makes us stronger, you and I, because we are focused on making sure that no matter what happens, you and I come out together.
Yeah. And that's what it comes down to in the scheme of things, because you're my other half forever, whether you like it or not. Sorry. You signed a contract a long time ago, and that's not going anywhere.
I don't know that I signed my life away.
Oh, you signed it in blood. Sorry.
I did not sign it in
I
blood.
traded you for what?
Glitter.
I traded you for a goat, and I think
Ew, no, you did not.
And a half a farm or something like that. I don't remember. Whatever your dowry
You had
was.
a goat?
Yeah, that's what you were worth.
I want a goat. Can we get a goat?
Sure, baby.
No, but like really, I seriously want a goat.
Okay, that's a great idea.
He's so just dismissing me right now.
I totally am. And with that, so now we do have these on podcast form. So we are actually going to be going back to our hundreds of videos that we've made over the last 15 years and slowly turning them into audio podcasts and putting them into our podcast library. So all you have to do is wherever you get your podcasts, you could type in Matt and Bianca, or you could type in Club Sapphire, and it's going to show right up, and you can listen to all of the things, including this video. If you watch the video form, you can watch it. You can listen to the audio as well, and it'll be all brand new to you. Perfect. All right.
Yeah.
Well, is there anything else you want to say, Bianca?
No.
All right. Well, thanks so much for watching / listening.
Yes.
And we'll see you next time.
Bye.